Welcome to our session on operating and scaling through rapid change. My name is Fernanda Choza, and I am a senior product marketer here at Zendesk. In today's session, we're going to walk through some of the trends that are disrupting how support teams need to think about scaling, as well as get into the product to understand how leveraging native, easy-to-access analytics can really help CX leaders thrive through uncertainty. So, given the uncertainty that the world is going through right now, it's really no surprise, I think, for any of us intuitively, that customer requests are up across the board. Since mid-March, we've been analyzing data from the Zendesk benchmark, our data index of companies using Zendesk, to understand the impact of COVID-19 on customer experience and engagement. And across the board, we see customer requests up on average 24% from last year. But the impacts aren't really evenly spread or even predictably distributed. Underneath this trend is an undercurrent of volatility. And when we double click to understand the impact of this surge on businesses, we see that simply doing more of what we were doing before isn't going to work. Companies need to not only adjust and prepare for the scale that they're facing, but also for rapid and constant change. For example, not only are support numbers increasing, but first, customer preferences have shifted significantly, prompting CX leaders to accelerate their embrace of live channels due to new customer behavior. Next, we see companies really of all sizes seeing volatility in their requests, which means that flexibility needs to be built in and growth can't be planned for or in a linear manner, and support teams need to be at the forefront in leading their shifting business. And then finally, customers are also showing a willingness and a propensity to self-serve, which creates significant opportunity for CX leaders in the realm of automation, scale, and stability. For leading teams, embracing this new normal can help them not just stay afloat during this time, but really be a driver of growth as their companies pursue new opportunities, pivots, and step up their business to meet new customer needs beyond support. So let's take a look at what that actually looks like. So here are 3 support teams who have embraced scalability in their support organizations to pursue pivots and new opportunities during this time. So first, we have Teachable, which is an online course creation platform that serves over 18 million students globally. As the pandemic's impact became really clear in early March, Teachable saw an opportunity to help its community by offering health, government, education agencies all free access to their platform. But along with this, their support team saw an almost 80% increase in their volume and was able to handle that with a mix of live chat, the implementation of new technologies such as AnswerBot to promote self-service and automation to answer easy questions. Next, we have Discord, which is a free service that makes it easy for friends and groups to communicate over voice, video, and text. While Discord historically caters primarily to a group of online gamers, with the pandemic, they actually saw 3-time growth among sectors that were moving online for the first time ever, right? Things like virtual classes, book clubs, study groups, restaurant tours, digital conventions, right? Audiences that they have never catered to. And Discord's support team was luckily very well equipped to handle this influx, given their prior decisions to invest in automation, deflection, and AI. This system lets their users score quick answers while making their agents and freeing up their agents to be available always for high priority conversations. And then finally, we have Calm, an Apple App of the Year. If you guys haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. That guides people in mindfulness and meditation. And they decided to meet COVID-19's impact on mental health by assembling a collection of free wellness resources, including things like mindfulness classes, meditations, visualizations, at a time when they are really broadly needed. Their support team was able to navigate a 33% increase in inquiries, mainly from people that were new to the platform and looking to access more Calm. And despite this rising volume, the team actually saw their CSAT improve during this time by making valuable content nimble and readily available to the support team. So what we see here across these three different examples is that leaning into the shifting nature of support operations can not just help teams stay afloat, but also can really provide a leading edge that enables the entire company to deal with change in more agile ways. So as we head into the demos, we'll talk about 3 easy ways you can adopt a more agile approach to your support operations. Through our benchmark research, we were able to identify best practices adopted by companies who successfully maintain a stable overall ticket resolution time while seeing their request volume spike by 10% or more. So first, they kept up with their customers on live channels. 30% of them went on to solve significantly more requests over these live channels. Second, they identified ways to maximize their team's productivity by adding on average 10% more agent workflows, including things like macros, triggers, automations. And then third, they embraced customer-facing automation, with 60% of them adding to their help center since the outbreak started. Of course, each business is unique, so we're going to center each one of these demos on the data and insights that are going to help guide your own strategy. Let's get into it. So let's kick off with keeping up with customers on live channels. As businesses embrace live channels that customers are flocking to in droves, team leads need to really embrace a more agile approach to staffing to ensure that live channels can meet their fluctuating customer needs. So let's dive in where most service managers are going to start their day, on my real-time dashboard. Here, I can look at how my newly remote team is operating across my support, chat, and talk channels. I can easily understand what my volume and performance looks like across each, and I've built in thresholds to alert me if any of my SLAs are being breached. Today, it looks like something's happening on chat. My volume is up significantly, as you can see in my chats per hour window. My satisfaction is at 82%, which is a 14% decrease today. My wait time is 8 minutes, which is higher than I'd like. And I can also see that my chats in queue are at 26, which is triggering a red flag for me. Because chat is being inundated with these high volumes, while it looks like my calls are actually lower than what I typically see, I'd like to temporarily add additional capacity to my chat team by getting some of my call center reps to assist with this. So from my workspace, I'm going to easily rope in Amy, my staffing manager, to help fix this problem. I quickly share a public link to my dashboard with Amy where I explain the problem to her. This is a great way for me to keep the right stakeholders across my entire organization engaged and in the loop with what's happening in real time. With Amy's insights, I have a clear view of how I can shift my staffing to accommodate this trend. So it looks like Jessica, Abby, and Andrew and Hannah can all switch over to chat easily to help me accommodate this influx. All right, thank you, Amy. Let's go back into our support instance and fix this. So with the context that Amy has given me, I can easily go into my admin center and tweak my staffing in real time to adjust to this shifting need. What you know it, there is Jessica, one of the agents that Amy suggested I flip over to chat. So I'm going to head in to look at her omnichannel roles and responsibilities. Here is Jessica's unified staff profile. As you can see, she's currently active on support, on guide, explore, and talk, but not chat. So let's fix this. I'm going to take her off talk completely and have her focus on chat as her only live support channel. So effective immediately, Jessica will start to receive and service chat tickets within the same agent workspace that she's already working on. I can do the same thing for all the other agents that Amy suggested I reallocate. And just like that, within the span of a few minutes, we were able to understand our live staffing needs and the changes that could be made to directly impact our customers' ability to receive support across our omnichannel support offering. Next, let's talk about maximizing our team's productivity. So alongside these widely shifting customer needs that I'm seeing, it's likely that different support topics or themes are going to be impacted differently. And in addition to this, my team's now likely working remote, which makes it harder to get real-time feedback from them on what they're struggling with. So let's look at how we can easily identify problem areas within our team and quick steps we can take to remediate these. All right, so now let's head back to our Explore dashboard and see if there's any new trends from the recent months that can help identify what we can improve in our operations. So I'm going to step away from my real-time dash here, and I have an overview of my business. It's showing me a bird's eye view of my support team's historical performance over the last 12 months. So right away, I notice here that my chat completion rate is under 50%, which confirms my suspicion that there's a broader issue going on with chat. So let's look here at my conversations by channel over the last 12 months, which shows me what I could have assumed based on my real-time dashboard. I see a noticeable spike in chat volumes in June compared to previous months. So I'm just going to quickly dig in and see if I can figure out what this is about. So I'm going to hit Filter Others here. And let's head down here to my conversation classification and understand what these were about. So looking at this, I can see that conversations related to product returns were definitely a part of this spike that I have and have the highest volumes. So let me now double click into here and filter everything by product returns. And let's look here at my efficiency metrics. So this is showing me on average how many chat back and forths between the customer and the agent are taking to resolve each one of these inquiries. So it looks like for product returns, it's actually really high. About 60% of my chat volume in June on the subject of returns took over 20 back and forths, which is extremely high, especially for something like returns. So from this data, it looks like my chats in relation to returns are really complex. And now I'm going to go back into my agent's workspace to see how I can help alleviate this by maybe reducing some of the effort that it actually takes to resolve customers' issues when it comes to returns. I'm going to head into my support admin where I can access my contextual workspaces. Contextual workspaces are trigger-based agent workspaces that automatically surface the most relevant tools such as forms, apps, and macros for my support team while solving tickets and can be tailored to address tricky subject areas. I already have a few contextual workspaces set up for common issues my support team deals with. So far, you can see I've set up workspaces for returns, purchases, and general requests. So I'm going to take a look at my returns workflow and see if there's a way that I can improve this. First, I can see which incoming tickets this workspace will apply to. It's easy for me to tailor this by adding conditions if needed. For all incoming tickets for which these conditions apply, I can choose specific ticket forms, macros, or apps that I want my agents to see. Let's head into the macros tab. For tickets in this workspace, I can see there are specific macros I'm automatically surfacing to my agents. And finally, I can see that there are specific apps my agents are encouraged to use for these tickets. I already have a few ideas about how I can improve this workspace to make my agents even more efficient on this issue. For example, I'll likely want to create and add a few more macros and make those available to agents within this workspace. I'd also want to change the apps that are surfaced to my agents to make them a little bit more helpful. Off the top of my head, for example, our Shopify app, which can surface billing, shipping, and order information, should be really relevant and useful when processing returns. But let's pause here. I know a lot of traffic is coming into my instance right now, so I don't actually want to make any changes in real time and subject myself to unnecessary risk. Instead, I'm going to make use of my premium sandboxes so I can tinker outside of my live instance without breaking anything. After all, I want to be able to develop and test changes with a safety net. So I'm going to Sandbox in the Admin Center where I can run a behind the scenes testing before I actually push this live to my agent team. So you can see here I have my sandboxes where I have recreated my live instance, including everything from metadata and thousands of tickets to test workflows for my agents. I already have a few sandboxes set up for common testing scenarios, such as onboarding triggers, adding new customer triggers, return ticket customization, and I have a staging sandbox for my developers. So I can likely just use one of these to test the changes. Otherwise, I could easily create a new sandbox for this use case if I needed to. With Premium Sandbox, I can easily get my hands dirty and see how configuration changes are going to impact my agents and the customer experience we provide as a company before implementing these settings in my production instance. Now, not only have I fixed the real-time issues with my team that had a pretty immediate impact, but I was also able to seamlessly identify how I can put new processes in place that are going to help my team become more efficient with a reoccurring issue in the long term, all with the safety and security of testing and iterating this without breaking my live systems, which are clearly under a lot of strain right now. So finally, let's wrap this up by talking a little bit about automation. We've seen how live channels and complex tickets are easier than ever to service with the right insights. But luckily for scaling companies, today's customers prefer to self-serve when it's possible. And identifying the right low complexity tickets to automate can have a huge impact on your business. While Explore gives us a great bird's eye view into the quantitative aspects of my support operations, we've also built in smart analytic tools within a manager's day-to-day work streams to give them a boost and help adjust and inform high-value decisions. Specifically, our guide product lets content managers understand the context behind support trends to adjust your knowledge base to reflect these needs. Whereas solutions like Premium Sandbox and Contextual Workspaces are great ways to add efficiency to high complexity tickets, many high volume, low complexity requests can be automated with self-service content. So I'm going to head now into my guide admin interface where I can access content queues, an AI-powered feature for content managers that's built to help understand how to optimize self-service based on changing customer needs, with a focus on identifying recent trends in your support tickets that may be underserved by your self-service. In this case, I can see that a large number of my customers over the last few weeks have been struggling with issues around returns, as we saw earlier. However, with the added context that Content Queues is providing me, I can see that there's an issue around returns, which is precisely refund timing and processing, which is something that customers should be able to clarify on their own, as it's a fairly standard process. So let's double click into the tickets that are driving this surge. I can see here a sample of recent tickets that are representative of this issue for my customers. And I can see that Gina on my team has a pretty good insight into exactly what customers need to navigate this on their own. So what I'll do now that I have this context is see if there's any existing content in my help center that I can tweak to better respond to this issue. There's a related article return policy that should address this if it doesn't already. So let's take a look. I'm going to pull in Gina's response to be able to compare it to my existing article, just temporarily. So it looks like there is no information in my existing article about when returns will be processed and when our customers are going to see that refund in their account, which seems to be what a lot of customers are asking about. So I'm going to go in here and easily just assign this out to Gina so that she can add the context that users need. With this knowledge now captured, I can surface it to my customers in my self-service channels before they even reach out to an agent and use it to deflect tickets with AnswerBot or have it just as a resource that my agents can share directly with customers when they do reach out personally. Finally, this last piece of the puzzle on responding to rapid change while scaling lets us see how not every issue needs to fall on our agents and how we can identify via data and insights opportunities within our operations to bring in scale and automation that add value to our customers pretty immediately. While these three examples are not all inclusive or encompassing of the issues your support team may face, what is unique and valuable about our solution is that we arm you with the tools you need to remain agile in the face of rapid change. With solid data and analytics as a foundation to help you understand what's working and what can be improved, Zendesk really empowers you to quickly and easily make impactful changes to your organization within a matter of minutes. And this is all just a starting point. We're excited to be your partners as you embark on this journey. And that's it for today. I encourage you to check out our What's New website and our 2 other breakout sessions covering staying connected in real time with social messaging and supplying the right tools for your team to work from anywhere. Thank you for joining us.